Okay. If nothing else, I now know where the beginning of this conversation is going to start. So that's nice. So. Wait, that's Genshin. That's not Zelda. So for those of you who are jumping in from YouTube, know that I was streaming this for the last, like, half an hour. And then Daisy was kind enough to notice that because of some streaming stuff that I was messing with pre-stream, did not properly fix because I wanted to get rid of the plugin entirely, but I had no idea how to delete the plugin. There was music playing in the background that I cannot hear because I don't have it, and I thought I got rid of the thing, so I can't see it. So Daisy heard it, and now here we are. So, at the very least, if this first section sounds like it's fast, is because it has been rehearsed. Because we've been through it once before. So, there you go. Okay, so coming out from doing everything in the swamp, we have reset the clock, we have gone back to day 1. And the first question needs to be, why does Link and Tattle decide to go to the mountains next, as opposed to the other 3? The only reason we go to it in the game is because Tattle says, we should go this way next. Obviously, there are barriers in both of the other directions that prevent us from doing these out of order. However, it would still make more sense if we are trying to create a story from this game to have something that's a little bit less mechanic-y. At least have a story reason to go this way, more than purely a gameplay reason. Because Tattle said so. The only feasible reason that I could come up with for this is the fact that there is one other thing that Link needs in order to get up to the mountains, and that is he needs bombs. Ow, ow. Bombs are necessary to get past some of the big snow boulders. So let's give Link a reason to go to the bomb shop, because there's Goron at the bomb shop. So Goron at the bomb shop, easy way for Link to go places. Oh, Goron, go up this direction. The easiest connection Link would have to the bomb shop is the bomb lady, the old lady that got robbed by Sakan during that first cycle. So oh, come on. That was an actual Ocarina of Time song. Should give me more money. Oh well. So, as Link and Tattle are discussing, which way should we go next? What makes the most sense? Tattle's kind of naming off, okay, well, the ocean is over here. Maybe yada, yada, yada. Link sees the old lady, and she is struggling with some packages or something early in the morning. And Link, being his kind self, but also feeling still a little regretful at not being able to help her from before, helps her to where she is going, which is the bomb shop. And so he meets the owner of the bomb shop, who is her son. They talk a little bit about bombs. It's like, can you handle this, kid? It's like, oh, no, I totally know how to handle this. And he kind of demonstrates that he can, so that he can actually buy the bomb bags. And the discussion comes up regarding the package, the bigger bomb bags that they don't have in stock right now. And the old lady, she is going to go and get the shipment so she can bring it back and they can sell the bomb bags. Link, understanding that if she does that, she's going to get robbed, tries to dissuade her from doing it. But she's set on doing it. She has decided that this... Oh, you know what? I'm going to go out this exit because I can stock up on arrows. She's dead set on doing it because, well, frankly, there's no other way to do it. Well, how come? Because our usual source of supplies up in the mountains is currently cut off. They don't have any other way to get them, and so she has to go across town for basically another supplier. Shimigamics, thank you. Holy crap, that's a long time. That's nuts. Thank you for being awesome. She's dead set on doing this, and Link obviously can't say, I saw a thing in a different timeline, you're gonna get robbed. You know, don't go, you're gonna get robbed. It doesn't... Not exactly gonna fly as an excuse. And so, understanding then that the mountains are currently blocked off, you're not able to get shipments because of a very unusual cold snap that has come. Link is set to solve this problem himself and hopefully prevent the lady from getting robbed. The temperature gets cold in a hurry. Now, you're not entirely wrong. I would push back on going with the kid explanation because Link's been through a lot of stuff at this point. He is seasoned adventurer Link right now. No, he is not, 40 years old type, but he also has been through a lot. Oh, you're joking. It gets cold. It gets cold fast, and Link definitely overestimates just how bleeding cold it is. And Tattle obviously can only do but so much. And so the two of them rush into a cabin that they see as soon as they see it, and hoping that there is warmth inside, which they're out of the wind, but it's actually not that particularly warm in here either. Tattle is trying to get some additional warmth. It's not going very well. And Link is doing the same, but he is distracted by the weapons that are around. And eventually, Gabora notices Link, makes his noises, and Zabura, he notices them as well, because Gabora makes a ton of noise. And so, the four of them begin discussing the nature of the cold snap, how long it's been here, what's been going on. Specifically, Zabura here mentions the frozen hearth as evidence of just how insanely cold it is. They ran out of fuel before they could get a lot faster than they would have expected because of the cold snap, and then they became unable to light it again because it's so gosh freaking dang cold outside. So part of that discussion would eventually turn to the Gorons. Just as general conversation, because who else lives up here? What are they doing to deal with the cold? That kind of stuff. No one suspects any kind of foul play or dark forces. It's just an unusually cold winter. Which apparently it's winter. Because no one else mentions any other seasons except up here, and it's not like you're going to have 4 different seasons in 4 different locations so close to each other. So, Zabura would point the two of them in the direction of the... Okay, fine, go away. You're out of my hair. That's all that matters to me. In the direction of the Gorons. There's not a whole lot to really discuss between the cabin and the Goron village. Which is... well, I guess frustrating. The only thing I can think of to talk about in this section is... what does Tattle know of the Gorons in this region? Link can talk a little bit about Gorons, what he knows because of the time that he spent with the Gorons with Darunia and Hyrule. Tattle would talk about the Gorons here. What did they do? Which, interestingly enough, we don't know a whole lot about what they do. But their chief Darmani is something of a local hero. I want to say there is some record somewhere about what he's actually done, but I can't think of where I would be able to find that, so maybe that's just something that I don't know anything about. They just say that he is a hero, so maybe then some of the things that Tattle is telling Link is what Darmani is famous for. Maybe there was some large Dodongo that he defeated. Maybe there was a rock slide or an avalanche or something that he was able to save the village from. You know, local hero type of stuff that would make Darmani a very famous chief. Very popular amongst his people. Oral tradition, yeah. Regardless, that was more just a question of whether or not I'm making stuff up. They hear the crying before they ever walk in. It's a, what's that? then, oh my gosh, my ears are killing me. Because it's that bad. And everyone else is exactly the same. Side note, but I really like how they work the audio on this. Because the position of the crying changes depending on where you are. All these fun things that you only notice when you're wearing headphones. So everyone is suffering. If they're not freezing, their heads are pounding. Mostly both. And it's part of trying to get some kind of word out of anybody as to what the heck is going on. Oh, gosh. I can't. Come on, give me... Thank you. I need something you can actually see. You stopped crying for a second there. In the midst of all of this, everyone is crying. Everyone is freezing. The child is crying. Everyone is at their wit's end. There is only one individual that is... Oh, come on. Someone give me some hearts! There's only one individual that seems to be not quite so perturbed by everything. And the thing is, nobody notices them. Except for Link. Now, this section here is specifically gameplay related. At least I'm going to say that is gameplay related. We had already said, for example, that we were eliminating the owl from our story here. Which is great, because after this, we never see him again, so it doesn't matter. Additionally, just like what we did for Ocarina of Time, we're going to eliminate the magnifying lens, the lens of truth, as an actual item. And instead, utilize it like what we did in Ocarina of Time as a skill that Link is able to learn. Ow. Oh, hi. Just wanted to pick up a thing. Since this is post-Ocarina of Time, Link already has this ability, and therefore he is able to utilize it almost immediately, subconsciously, and then when he realizes this person is not behaving like everybody else, he focuses on them a little bit more and comes to the realization that this is a ghost. Please tell me that there are hearts in here and not just bombs. Please? You're all disappointed. I understand why you're all bombs and magic, but come on. And because of that, Link is, well, he goes and approaches Darmani here, and Darmani is surprised that Link can see him and talk with him. But eventually, not even eventually, it doesn't take all that much time to convince Darmani that Link can in fact see him and is trying to get information from him as to what is going on. It always seems strange to me that the Goron graveyard, or at the very least Darmani's grave, would be so remotely removed, so far removed, excuse me, from... Ow! What the... Who said you could slide? So far removed from Goron Village. The only reason I could think about that is if the village used to be closer, but they had to relocate for whatever reason. Which is fine if that is the case. But doesn't really do much for our story. And so instead of going all this way in order to get to the spot... Ow. Link would instead... I would say Darmani would instead lead Link to a graveyard that is closer. Either along the way, or maybe after they get there. A couple of ways to do this. Right, left, right. Maybe, except for the fact that... Why are you all... I hate this. Why can't I get on the thing? You all suck. I don't think I've ever had this much trouble getting over here. Oh boy. I don't know, because he fell... According to the story as we have it, he was blown off of the path to Snowhead and fell to his death. It is a little bit of a insignificant death, if you ask me, which is unfortunate, but the only other reason of death that I can think of would be, or other cause of death would be actually doing battle with Gaunt and dying in combat. However, I do think an ignominious death is a little bit more fitting and more likely to create a ghost, because he did nothing. He did nothing to save his people, and therefore there's nothing. It's like his death was meaningless. But regardless, the conversation still is exactly, not exactly, but more or less how it goes on through here. His woes, his regrets, his... Well, yeah, I mean, he definitely has regrets. I'm just saying that an ignominious death is more likely to cause those regrets to well up as opposed to a heroic death in battle. That kind of deal. The fact that Darmani knows that it was a demon, this is a good piece of information. This is what tips Link and Tattle off that the cause of this blizzard is whatever is causing the havoc in Snowhead. And it's the same thing almost certainly that is the same source as... Oh, ignominious? You haven't heard of the word ignominious before? Ignominious, humiliating or degrading. Despicable or dishonorable. Ignominious. It's a good word. Solid word. But Darmani figured it out. He figured out the source. He saw that the winds were coming from an unusual location, the ancient Temple of Snowhead, and went to go find out what was going on. He discovered inside that there was a demon. He tried to take care of it. You see, here, the blizzard blew him into the valley. So, the question then is... he would need to have discovered the demon, Got. He would have discovered it. Failed. But something now is also coming to my mind. The fact that Got is frozen when we first encounter him. If Got is frozen when we first encounter him, that means that obviously it was frozen as well. So, Darmani makes it. He makes it to Snowhead, and he is trying to fight the demon. He's trying to fight Got because he originally... Okay, here it is. It starts getting cold. Unseasonably cold. The cold snap. It's massive. It's huge. Darmani takes it upon himself to go to Snowhead in order to appeal to the guardian that is said to have lived there. This is something that the Gorons have done for a long time. To appeal to the guardian deity, our giant, for aid. The deity or the Great Fairy. Because we've decided that both of them are going to be in the same location every time. He tries to go in. Things are bad in there. He finds Got. And oh my gosh, what's this demon here? This demon must be causing this problem. And so he goes in, he's trying to fight it. And it looks like he's winning. But then the demonic magic grows and grows. It kind of like explodes, if you will, out of Got, causing a massive influx of this blizzard that's going on. And it freezes Got, but blows away Darmani. And so Darmani is blown off and out of the dungeon. He tries to make his way back, but the winds are too strong, and then blows him off. My only question is, in this version, the Gorons outside were digging Darmani's grave. The way that I had it, I had not given any indication of whether or not the Gorons knew that Darmani was dead. There's two ways that we can play into this. We can do like what they do in the game, where people think, oh my gosh, Darmani has come back to life. Or they don't know, and it's just Darmani has returned. On the other hand, there's a third option, and I think I'm leaning towards this third option because it takes care of some complications that are never addressed in the game. And it's the fact that Link leaves. Link leaves. So, what the heck are the Gorons going to do about their hero suddenly vanishing? What are the Indigogos going to do with the fact that their lead guitarist just up and walked out on them? I think instead of having Link's masked form making people mistake him for the people in question, just like with the Deku Butler, it only is reminiscent of the people in question. So they don't mistake, the Gorons don't mistake Link for Darmani, but it looks like Darmani. You remind me of Darmani. So we're more willing to trust you, Goron, that we have never met before, because you look trustworthy. And thankfully, their trust is well placed in this case. So, with that being the case, it may be that the Gorons don't know where Darmani is. Because if he was blown off into the canyon in the middle of this blizzard, who's going to have found his body? Regardless, the conversation here basically runs as it runs, as Darmani is begging Link, who obviously is able to communicate with the dead, bring me back to life. I will give anything so that I can save my people. This strikes a chord with Link. Again, we're dealing with loss. And the personal loss that Link has suffered is being echoed in a lot of ways in Darmani's pleas. Instead of just heal my sorrows, there has to be I'm sorry, I can't do that. I don't know how. I don't know even know if it's possible to bring someone back from the dead like this. And Darmani would lower his head in resignation and sadness. Of course, if only it were so easy to just come back and fix what I had broken, to repair where I basically, he failed. He failed, and he wants a second chance. And that's what really holds Link at attention here, because Link thinks that it's his fault that Navi left. Perhaps, maybe a flashback we could have here where Link uses kind of the same words as he has thought to himself about why Navi left and what could he have done to convince her to stay. There is a decent amount of time that is spent as Link and Darmani kind of sit in a shared loneliness and silence. And eventually Link takes out the ocarina. And as he is thinking about all of the things that Darmani has told him, the Song of Healing just kind of comes to mind as he is thinking about all of this. The music then serves as a backdrop where not necessarily the magic of the song, that the magic of the song is part of this, but understanding Darmani's hopes and dreams and how much people are counting on him, and Darmani, again, filled with sadness and regret at not fulfilling his duty, but the magic of the song is helping him to realize that maybe he can't do it himself, but there is someone right here who can do it for him. And so, as a final request, he asks Link to do the job that he could not. And Link agrees, the magic fully takes hold, and Darmani departs, leaving the mask behind. Terrifying! Every time. Every freaking time. There's a couple of things that I want to do here. The first thing is to make sure that we take care of the whole sword deal within this first 3-day period, just to make life easier for everybody, especially me. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This better work. Thank you. I'm really annoyed otherwise. So, this is not part of our story. This is for the... just for the ease of being able to have the Razor Sword, and then we'll get the Gilded Sword later. Because I'm not going to need this sword. I'm really not. So, it works out. Except, I did make one mistake. I was going to need that sword at the top of Snowhead. Oops. So, oh well. I will need to deal with that. I'm sure we'll be fine. Probably. Okay, this is really a waste of time. In order to save a little bit of time, there is a scene that we can discuss right now that basically is just going to make our lives easier. Because Link would... The other character that we don't have accounted for at this point is the Elder. The Elder left because Darmani was taking too long. He was worried about him. Where could he be? What's going on? Despite the protests of all the other Gorons, the Elder asserted that as Elder, he needs to approach Snowhead. That needs to be his responsibility. Dang it, just missed. Oh well. The path to Snowhead is a tribal secret. It's not just a path that anyone can take. You need permission to go. So Link would return to the Goron village, this time as a Goron, to see if he can facilitate any more assistance. It takes some doing, but he is eventually able to garner some aid. They've run out of options. Everyone else is freezing, starving, and... What?! You are kidding me! I just got here! Just because I bothered to walk. Fine, we have more time to talk about this. Great. Still annoying. That's ridiculous. Anyway. Where was I? That's right. So, he is given the task to find the Elder, find Darmani. Both would be great. Both would be just fantastic. And so it's on the trail to Snowhead that Link is where he runs into the Elder. Dang it! I swear. Absolutely ridiculous. Whatever. We're going to make it. Thankfully, I've gotten all of my descriptions down, or done, so we can just run over here and start the next conversation. Because thankfully, I don't think there's anything about this conversation that needs to be adjusted all that much. The Elder is... The Elder is delirious. More than anything else, he is talking about Darmani, the Blizzard, Snowhead, and his son. Instead of immediately running up to this, Link would actually help the Elder get back to the village. Because he's obviously in absolutely no state whatsoever to be going anywhere. It's actually while Link is guiding the Elder back down the trail that the Elder is humming pieces of the lullaby in his head. Or not in his head, but out loud. But just like this, it's only coming in snippets, little tidbits. I mean, he's delirious, and so he's talking about things like, sang this for you as a child, I sing it to my son now, my father sang it to me, it's such a good song, all of that kind of delirium type of stuff that we're going on here. So, when they get back to the village, first off, everyone is super excited. Oh my gosh, the Elder's back. But they also see just in how dire straits the Elder is in. Severe hypothermia. But also, it's not very good outside right now. And so, in order to deal with that, they pull out all the stops that they can in order to try and deal with this. Unfortunately, there's but so much they can do because of the cold and because of the crying child. The Elder is in no state whatsoever to... Stop it. To do anything about his son, and so everyone's at a loss about what to do. There it is. Sorry. And so, left with no other option, Link tries playing the song, at least what he was able to get. And this has the baby just standing up and singing it, which seems a little convoluted if you ask me, but I think what would actually make a little bit more sense would be if the child recognizes it, and instead of saying, oh, that's the thing, let me sing the thing, it's more of the song pieces just kind of gradually flow in as the child begins to recognize it and then just starts singing it naturally. And Link catches on and begins to play along. And eventually that lulls the child finally to sleep. It's really cute that they have all the other Gorons fall asleep here. That's your hint that that's what you're supposed to use later on. We would not have that in this case. In our case, what we would be doing is everyone is relieved, obviously, and they would take this opportunity to try and get things better situated for the Elder. So they're doing what they can. Link is doing what he can in order to get a fire going, provide some additional heat and support for the Elder, who is, again, in dire straits. The question, however, remains of where is Darmani? Because they don't know where Darmani is. Well, our newcomer, this Darmani-esque Goron has already been successful at finding one missing Goron dignitary. Maybe he can find the other one as well. Crap. Maybe if I kept going. Oh well. What I should probably do, actually, is start this a little bit closer like this. Ah, nice! Second try. That could have been a whole lot worse. Take care of this right now. They do give him the rock sirloin, because if Darmani has been gone for this long, he obviously has... He almost certainly has run out of his own food stores, and so someone's gotta help him get him his food. So take some. You're allowed to have some of it, but we gotta make sure that Darmani gets some food. Link, who's never eaten rock before, it's like, well, I know I could eat this now because I'm Goron, but how do you eat this? Anywho, it's just, I could totally see that as a conversation between Link and Tattle as they're going. It's like, so, are you gonna eat it? I don't know. I know Gorons eat this, but it's a rock. Well, yeah, but you're a Goron. You could totally eat that now, right? There's just this, like, almost morbid curiosity over what does rock taste like? It is during this conversation, though, that they do hear cries coming from a Goron. And the Goron is very much in a similar situation as we have here, though not necessarily stuck up there, but definitely stranded, cold, and starving. Link doesn't need it. Link is still a little like, it's like, well, you can have this. It's not like Darmani needs it. Darmani's dead. But there is obviously joy about this. Goron's super happy. He's like, okay, you're so wonderful to me. Thank you so much. Could you please... Well, actually, no. Could you... Because we're already going at this point to Snowhead to try and deal with the problem ourselves. The Dongero's mask could definitely be given as a souvenir. That is perfectly fine. It's also this Goron then who would give Link and Tattle information in regards to the hazards going up to Snowhead. This Goron that is rolling away basically tried to do the same thing that we were already doing in terms of tracking down Darmani and the Elder and helping them. Obviously, this one was unsuccessful. So, regardless, because they had traveled up further, they know a little bit more about the hazards of what's up here than we do. And so, thanks to that information, Link and Tattle are able to traverse all the way up here with little difficulty. Or at the very least, reduced difficulty. I don't have a sword. I can't turn that thing on. That is my oversight. Now, in here, there is a giant Goron that is causing this blizzard. We're not doing that. I chose the wrong button. Instead, this blizzard is a natural, well, supernatural offshoot from Got that is blowing crazy all over the place. So instead of the Goron lullaby, inexplicably, I would say, making this giant Goron go to sleep, not because the Goron lullaby can't put Gorons to sleep, but the fact that this massive Goron creating this massively loud blizzard can somehow hear the little bongo drums going off. I don't see that as particularly feasible. Instead, the song, I'm going to say, works as kind of a focus, if you will, for Link, just kind of humming it in his head or whatever, as he is both reminding himself of what he is doing and why he is doing it. That is what gets him through the cold and gets him and Tattle inside of Snowhead. It is still pretty cold in here, but it is less of an issue than... Ow. No, I need to. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. It's less cold than... Ow. Thank you. That's what I wanted. There isn't too much in this area that really needs too much plot exposition, I would say. We had this conversation when it came to Woodfall. So I'm not all that... Oh my gosh. So I'm not all of that worried about... Come here, you. Trying to create reasons for the fairies and whatnot again. This can simply be part of... Come on. Thank you. Part of the exploration. What I would probably want to focus here, though, is the improved relationship between Link and Tattle. Before, in the first temple, what we had was a veteran explorer in Link oh well dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to be careful. Nope. A veteran explorer in Link guiding around a novice explorer in Tattle. So that dynamic needs to be adjusted slightly. Because now they've had a little bit more time together, and they understand how the other functions to a greater degree. A growing rapport, as it were. These are bigger pots. So, the two of them together... Stream be crazy? Is everything okay? I mean, if it's crazy, it probably isn't okay, but... Because I swear, if there's more background music coming in where there shouldn't be, I'm going to be perturbed. I think the other thing that needs to start becoming a conversation piece in these dungeons is how Link is handling being exposed to all of this trauma. Oh, Steam! Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Makes you feel better. I think I need to go in here for anything. I think everything is going to be up the top side. Yep. Just checking. Because we want to make sure that Link is getting the opportunity in every stage of this adventure to come to terms with his own regrets. So we're going to do that somewhat vicariously through learning about the regrets and challenges of the people that he's interacting with. And so, talking about Darmani's dedication to his people. That sounds, at least on the surface level, very similar to the kind of stuff that Link has already done. The... Excuse me. The expectation that is placed on you when you have so much writing on the outcome of an encounter or a fight. There we go. That's... I wasn't sure if he had any. Ah! I meant to throw it. Like that. Not sure what I was doing with that, but whatever. Now the question I have in my head is how much of Link's adventure does he tell... Ha! Nice. How much of Link's adventure does he tell Tattle about And how much of it does she believe? Two very good questions, I would say. Oh, wow. That is a, Man, am I allowed to say both? Both wonderful. Probably Tifa over Aerith, personally. But man, that's a hard choice you're asking. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome in. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah. So, how much does Link talk about his adventure in Ocarina of Time? Because this is definitely the place to do it. Should probably do a few more. Thank you. Ah! So how does the conversation... Let's start with this. How does the conversation get started? Do we revisit the... Okay, Link... Come clean. I know you've done this before. What? How are you so good at this stuff? And then Link would have to kind of say something along the lines of, because I've done this before. Would you believe me if I said I have dealt with a world-ending threat before? Tifa would need to say something along the lines of, "You're kidding." Like, no, really. Conversation would probably begin something along the lines of, well, no, we already talked about how it begins, but it would continue as a it would basically go from kind of the humble beginnings into suddenly having the fate of the world, or the fate of Hyrule or whatever, on his shoulders. And as Link is talking about it, he recognizes the similarities between the stuff that he was doing and the kind of expectations that Darmani had placed on him. now that I think about it, why did I bother putting that? Whatever. Oh well, don't matter. Well, apparently it was worth my time. One cannot take these jumps lightly. They suck. There we go. Thank you. Okay. I would really like to get this dungeon taken care of by the end of the night. And I think we should have a pretty good chance of doing it. It would fit into a whole lot of my story-related plans if I could pull that off. We'll adapt, but I'd rather if we didn't have to. Ow. Nope, don't care about you. I am gonna have to care about you guys, though, aren't I? There's you. Oh, you're still... Okay, fine. You'll still be over there. You can stay over there. I am fine with that. Okay. I know I'm gonna need to deal with that Wolfos in a second. Come after me shortly. I imagine. Kind of like that. Now. There we go. Thank you. Good. What kind of conclusion, then, would Link need to reach upon... No! Which... I'm annoyed. Thank you. Ugh. I better not mess this up. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Now. Need to go this way. Thank you. And thank you. All right. I think we'll be fine as far as time goes. Go. Maybe we talk about, or Link talks about, how those expectations and that mission gave him a purpose. It gave him a reason for being in the world that he was in. And now he really doesn't have any of that. Which makes things really, really hard for him. What I want. Ow. Ow. I need to get up. Well, it's, oh, no, wait. No, this works because we can go this way. We can just shoot straight up. Awesome. This works out. Would love to get those arrows. Thank you. So at the very least, Link can understand the regrets that Darmani had. Tattle might be initially flippant about, well, if you're dead, then it's not your problem anymore. Why do you feel like you gotta worry about it? But it's always more than that. There's... This is not a snowball fight I consented to! You, and I do you. And I need you. Thank you. No. Well, at least it only takes 2 hits. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Take that. Thank you. Take care of this guy. is here. Ah! I'm about to run out of magic. But I had enough, and that's what matters. I would like some arrows. Arrows are nice. Magic, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're making good time. This is a... Now, where am I missing? There? I mean, I have time. It'll be okay. I was just kind of surprised. Top left corner, right? Okay, so... left corner... right there. Got it! And then... oh, I have the wrong shade of green. Wait, hang on. Oh. I thought I saw some sparkles at the last second. Oh, nope, that goes up. I don't want to go up. This does not help me. I need to go down a little. Nope, nope, come on, go. That'll do it! I got what I wanted! Okay. Oh, do I have to kill these three? Is that what I did wrong? That's what I did wrong. I didn't kill all of the things. Awesome. Okay. So, now that we have that, the question then becomes, how do we integrate the Great Fairy here to our story? We are able to do that with the first one. We want to try and be able to do it with all of them. Just like with the swamp one, we're not going to have the Great Fairy be outside of the temple, but within it. Perhaps she could unlock the way to where God is. She also probably witnessed a lot of what happened between Darmani and God, so she could relate the Darmani's final moments Obviously, Darmani would have given us his account. But our Shattered Berry could also... give us some kind of hint as to where, I guess, how Got could be handled. Maybe Darmani was able to, I'm thinking kind of like a Smaug situation where Darmani was able to loosen some key components from Got. So Darmani wasn't able to kill it, but was able to provide a weakness for Link to exploit, some kind of internal mechanics or something to that effect. So combining that information plus providing the means by which, yes, we're smashing the column. The fun, I think this is a really neat mechanic for puzzle traversal. But still helping, at least in some form or another, with providing a way. The obvious hint you can see is all of the ice and snow that is blocking the path, because all of this originated from God, and so that is the path that they need to take in order to return to the evil magic's origin. And so, when they make it inside, this is the first time that they actually see what had occurred. Because that explosion of frigid ice magic that had caused the entire... caused the blizzard in the first place, froze Got as well. And so Link and Tattle would kind of walk around it, look at it. Is this it? Huh. Looks like it's already been kind of defeated, hasn't it? I don't think either of them would necessarily come to the realization that this is what, like, that Got had did this to itself, basically, by causing the whole massive ice explosion. That's more a conclusion that you can draw from the visual cues and kind of the flashbacks and whatnot. Regardless, looking around at it, Tattle can see where the loosened part is on the back of Got. The flashbacks that we would have seen before would have seen Got a little bit more of a stationary force, charging and ramming creatures, but now with the broken component that Darmani was able to inflict on it, Got is, from the get-go, out of control. And that is why Got is nothing but a rampaging beast at this point. And So that's why Link is left with no other option, really, than to try and chase it down. There are a few ways that... Oh, of course. That Link and Tattle could potentially try and head it off. Maybe try and... What the... Try and predict where it's going, all that kind of stuff, but overall, the... Ah, come on, I wanted to punch it! The loose component on the back is really, it's their only real means of making any kind of progress in taking this thing out, so that is... the area that I have to focus in, and we've got being as rampagey as he is, or it is. It's really the only option we have. Tattle's ability, or contribution to this fight is... I would say marking off or drawing Link's attention to stuff that is flying out of it, the bombs and the things. Because there's but so much that Link can do to be aware of his surroundings when he's basically gone full Sonic. I have to say, after those 2 false starts, you did a pretty good job of holding this. I'm kind of impressed. Usually I would have hit a falling stalactite by now. As soon as the bombs start dropping, that's when we know that he's just about done. Ah, there it goes. There it goes. Finally happened. Oh, there are the bombs, so we're almost there. So dang, he's sparking like heck. Oh, come on! I really wish I could have taken him out while he was still on the ground. I think that would have been kind of cool. Though, in terms of dramatic cinematography, the best thing for it to happen, for the coolest way, I should say, for God to die, would be from Link launching off a ramp and just dive bombing him. One hit. I knew it. I knew it was going to be one more hit. Which we almost got right there, didn't we? So, that worked out pretty well. There is an annoying amount of digging that the 2 of them have to do in order to get to the body. But you have to get to the body in order to be able to pry off the mask, which they are eventually able to do. Just like before, once the mask is pried off, holy light emanates not from the mask, but from the body, as the giant is freed from its demonic imprisonment, and we are then brought here. And Tattle asks the question, what exactly are all of you? We've saved 2 of you. The Great Fairies seem to think you're important, but... Guardians? So you're protective gods. So that's why you're in the temples, but why have you been trapped? No, wait. Ta-da! Does it happen that fast? I would say it happens that fast because magical cold blizzard is over, therefore magical weather. Plus, I think it looks cool. With the freeing of the land from the blizzard, Link and Tattle return to the village, and yeah, totally looks cool. You like it when things look magical. But yes, Link would return to the village, and already all of the Gorons are... Honestly, they're outside. They're not here. They're outside. And they are super excited. And a celebration begins in earnest. There is... Obviously, the Gorons here are cheering for Darmani. But as we said, we are not going to go down the identity theft route. Instead, there is a celebration for both for the end of the blizzard and for the success and for the return of the Elder. The Elder's recovery, shall we say. However, this celebration is dampened by now that the snows have magically melted, they can now find Darmani's body. And so... there is a... Let's see. You should be the Patriarch! Link can't be the Patriarch. He has to leave. So instead, the people know that Darmani has died. There is great sorrow. And so there is both a celebration of the end of the blizzard and the safety of everybody, but there is also a funeral for the death of their Goron hero. So both of those things happen. They would begin with the funeral. And it is, of course, very somber and serious, as all of those things tend to be. We have not seen a Goron funeral in the annals of Zelda. So, how Gorons conduct their funeral is a mystery to us all. So, we're going to do a little bit of guesswork and also combining in the things that we need to do in order to make this story make an iota of sense. we will have a somber beginning, or a somber burial. We'll even use the big headstone thing that is in the game proper. But after that, that is when the party kind of begins in earnest. Oh no. So much for not crying. I wanted a better shot of it. There we go. That's better. How much more time do we have? Did you... Ow! Okay, I suppose we can just kind of let it go at this point. It should be blowing up any second now. There we go. Yay! Two things of import happened during the festivities. Thing number one is the powder keg testing. And that is done as people are asking Link about about how he did it. And it's discovered that Link did it without the use of any powder kegs, which everyone is greatly surprised by as he's describing what he had to do with deal with God. It's like, well, if you had a powder keg, it would have been a whole lot easier. It's like, powder keg? Oh, you don't... We gotta get you tested. And so they introduce him to the powder keg and how that works and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, the other thing that they do is the Goron races. This is a celebration that everybody in the mountains is able to join in. So both Zabura and Gabora are here. And that will give them an obvious reason to be like, oh, you have gold dust? Oh my gosh, gold dust. Let me tell you what you can do with gold dust. Because Link would have no idea what to do with gold dust. This is a horrible place to lose my spin. There's just that one guy ahead of us. Actually is a stroke of luck, considering I spent a long time not being able to go fast. Dang it! That is the worst. Ah! Oh, I lost. I think we tied for third. Second day. This actually timed up really, really well, so I am happy about that. is out there. Wow. Okay, I keep getting shortchanged by these Goron collisions. And I don't appreciate it. Ah, dang it. I don't speak Finnish. I'm sorry. But hello. Great to see you. Well, I figured that you would speak Finnish and not Swedish, seeing as you are Finnish. Oh, really? Nice. Aren't you like quadlingual? Multilingual? Because you got Japanese and English. You got all the stuff. Also, that was a horrible, horrible exchange that I had in there. I'm probably not going to win this. Oh, wait. Oh, they all got knocked off? I just have this guy to worry about? Ah, you're saying there's a chance! Yes! Thank goodness. Fair enough. So, we get the gold dust at the very end, and this is the prize. Now, this is a great thing for Goron to have, because this is like the biggest, the fanciest spice, if you will, for Goron. But Link, who is not a Goron, is like, what the crap am I supposed to do with this? But Zabura and Gabora nearby, and Zabura's like, ooh, gold dust. Ooh, what I wouldn't give for some of that. And so Link would later approach the two of them in regards to the gold dust. Because he doesn't know what he's going to do with it. I never used the razor sword. Only 100 times, and then no, absolutely not. Make my life easier. I have gold dust. I'm going to use this gold dust, sir. All right. I am trying to think of what else needs to be done up here. I am not aware of anything else that needs to be done. At least as far as mini games go. I do, however, think that there is something that that thing. Oh, there's a piece of heart up there. The question. Oh, you know what? I might need the hook shot for that one. I died. If I recall correctly, there are a set of invisible platforms But I don't think those platforms go all the way to the outcropping there. They do not. So I need the hook shot, and I need the Scarecrow song to take care of that. So one other thing to worry about later. I can still, however, take this time to address anything that I am missing. The only thing that immediately comes to my mind is the archery game in town. Because I hate that archery game. But if I'm going to be the completionist I tend to be, I gotta do it. So I'm gonna do it. Ooh, there's one other thing I can do. No, I should wait on that. The Bomber's Notebook. What I tend to do when it comes to playing this game, I tend to take care of a lot of the town things after the mountain. And I feel like it makes the most sense. And we'll get into why in a little bit. First, here we go. Good. Okay. Ah! Oh, I've already blown that. Can't believe that's the one I blew it on. Darn it! Oh! Wait. Does that mean there's a piece of heart for a perfect score? I'm pretty certain I'm supposed to get a perfect score for something. Darn it! Question is, how long do I do this before... You know what? I'm going to check real quick. Dr. Rock game. Prizes. Yep, I knew it. Okay. 50 is the score. That's the perfect score. And there is a piece of heart involved. Curse my completionism! Dang it. Already blew it. Right. I swear, if it's that one that I missed, I'm going to be upset. It's that one. I missed the one! The one! Ah! I'm upset with myself. Fine. What? How did... Oh my gosh, thank you. I hate this game, I hate this game, I hate this game. No! No! Come on! Ah! I hate this game so much. Okay. I lost it again. It's fine. I had already lost it. I don't know. I feel like I have the hardest with these games. Majora's Mask ones are... ugh. So, you know, the funny thing that I'm noticing as I'm hitting these is the fact that, one, I should not be talking while I'm doing this, but secondly, the arrows are bouncing off the octoroks. I'm not actually stabbing them. Oh, I dodged a bullet! I have been vindicated. Thank you. All right, then. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we can do. First off, just for us and the other things to get, part pieces and the like. The other question is there anything I can do in connection to our story? I think I have an idea of what I want to do in regards to why Link would spend a period of time in Clocktown instead of immediately going to the next place. But I don't know. Oh, you know, I believe there's a challenge over here that needs to be done. Now, this guy. How does this go? Oh! I can't do it. I don't have a sword. Silly me! I can't do crap if I don't have a sword! I'm funny. Okay. So, first off, I have all the money I need and more. I should probably deposit this. So I will. Nope. Just doubled up my deposit. One other thing that we could potentially do that is not really connected to anything at the moment. It is the spider house. Oh, nope. You know what? No, I need the hook shot for that. Never mind. Yeah, I'm almost positive you need the hook shot for the swamp spider house. Otherwise, that would totally be the thing to do. There is, however, another piece of part that I could grab real quick. That is, in fact, in the swamp. Come on. I am having the hardest time with these control sticks. I want to do the whole backwards walking thing. You, sir! I need a photo. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Kulululimpa! Yes! I could spend some time grabbing the piece of heart from some of these, but I don't think I really need to. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so there's that. He's speaking in languages. Are you sure? I thought those were magic words that Tingle created himself. Don't steal them. I also need to take a picture of the Deku King. So do that real quick. Just something in the kill time. Oh, that reminds me. I have not explained yet my theory here in regards to how the traveling in time deal works in regards to everything that is going on in regards to the giants and the masks and everything else. Oh, wow. So, the way I see it is because the masks, the remains of every boss remains with us. It is a permanent item. Therefore, the effects of the the giants are recovered. The the boss can only be used again if you technically revitalize them. Therefore, the hazards or the difficulties that are occurring within their respective location should be resolved as well. As far as the gameplay mechanics are concerned, there is a they have to be able to do things in order for you to be able to collect all of the things and do all of the stuff, obviously. But as far as our adventure is concerned, every single location is deemed as being saved. So as far as our story is concerned, that should be how it is as well. In my view, it should be that if Link has solved the thing, then it has remained solved throughout the time. Think of it as having the magic of the magic of the mask enduring, basically. That's racist. Anywho. Woo! Yay! Wiggles, welcome in! Okay, I thought maybe I was going to get a piece of heart for giving him a picture of the king. Apparently, he only gives you heart pieces for taking pictures of his son. Which is fine. I was just making sure I got all of the stuff. Well, thank you. Whew. Well, I can't think of anything else. Since I can't think of anything else, we're going to kind of speed this up a little bit, and we will begin to move the story into its next phase. We still have about an hour left on stream, so it should be fine. I mean, we'll be able to get a whole bunch taken care of, is what I'm saying. So, all of the celebration stuff is going on, and obviously, since Link is waiting for his sword to be tempered, there's not a whole lot that he can do to pass the time aside from stay here, hang out, and talk with the people who are here. Oh, you're fine, Wiggles. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the raid. Have a good one. The conversations begin to turn to interchanges that people have had with the people on people elsewhere. Thank you, Gilded Sword. Thank you very much. Look at my sword. And as that conversation goes, it occurs to Link that there's a dog over here, and what? Oh my gosh! Look at this dog. Yeah. Here is dog. He was just sitting there, looking up at me with his big, derpy face. Hey, hi. You're the one who wanted attention, okay? This is your fault. This is your fault. Your big belly. You do better with feeding you right. I will be. I'm improving it. I'm changing his dog food. But I also made the mistake of misreading the things and giving him more food than he needs, so I gotta make some adjustments. Yes, hello! I had to leave him alone like all day yesterday. I came home, took a walk, and took him out for a walk and left again. That's right. All day! All flippin' day! And then I was here all day. And I'll be here like all week, so it's fine. Okay. I've given Puppy some loves. We can get back to this. I don't think there's... Wait, there's something in there. Oh, there's a hidden treasure chest! Are you making me pull out my lens of truth? You're making me pull out my lens of truth. Oh, it's sideways. Alright, well, thank you for that. Oh, now that I have this, I definitely need to go and mark Snowhead. Let's go mark Snowhead. That's kind of important. Hopefully, I mean, there's a chance. No, I know I'm going to have to come and kill God again, so it's really useful for me to have this for a couple of reasons. So, let's come up here, we will mark the thing, and we will continue on. I will also take advantage of this to grab some footage that I don't have otherwise. And that is a picture of the Bigaron that we completely edited out of our version of events. Which I feel maybe a little bad about. So, at the very least, we get to record the footage. So it's good for that. Hey, look at him. He's so big. This massive Goron. What am I doing here? I don't know. What are you doing here? It's just so big. Can I talk to him as like somebody else? Oh, he's just... Okay, fine. Be like that. There. So I got those taken care of. And I need to... I need to deposit my money again. And I believe that is everything. I think we can shoot back in time. So, talking with everybody up here, it occurs to Link that he really doesn't know the people in Clocktown. And that feels weird to him. Tattle is initially against it because we're already halfway there. Why would we want to spend more time dealing with this other stuff? And Link's response is, but this is just as important to them as this everyone else, right? We went by them. We don't really know them. And in addition to all of that, what's the harm? It's not like we can lose time. Tattle's like, well, you got me there. So that's the argument, and that is the point that is made. So back they go to spend a little time in Clocktown. Over the many times that I've played this game, I have become very, very proficient at getting as many of these tasks done. Oh, wait. There we go. As efficiently as possible. Like, there's still a part of me that wants to try to do the 3-day challenge. To see if I can get through all 4 dungeons in a single 3-day cycle. So we go through the first round, and then get the Deku Mask, Song of Healing, 3 days go. Can only be done if you slow time down, but is it possible? And I believe it is, and there's a part of me that would be interested in trying. I'm looking for arrows. I'm almost positive that it has been proven to be possible. I'm just curious if I can pull it off. If I have... There we go. There are my arrows. Well, yeah, but I'm talking in regards to legitimate means. You gotta be able to do it legitimately. If you're gonna cheat... Because there's no way to do this all in one day. There's too many things that you need to do that require multiple days to do it. At the very least, taking care of Romani's ranch involves a whole bunch of stuff. There we go. All right, come on. Ah. There we go. All right. 2 more, I think. One more. Last one. There! Whoo! I'm starting to get worried. There's a piece of heart by doing all 3 days in a row, so I want to make sure I got that going. Now, this is also where the challenge of telling an effective story comes into play. Because a lot of the stuff that is involved at this point is... They're very disjointed. They're interconnected and disjointed at the same time. There's no through line to say, you gotta go over here, to over here, to over here, to over here. So, how do we thread the disparate stories together? Seriously? The one thing that I'm really trying to make sure I keep separate from everything else is the Cafe and Anju story. That really, really needs its own focused cycle. Oh my gosh. Thank you. This is harder to do as a Hylian than it is as a Deku. So while I could very easily, quickly go to the mayor's office in a couple of hours and grab Cafe's mask, I don't necessarily want to do that if for no other reason than if we're trying to keep Cafe's story put together, is that the right way to do it? Ah, I had you! These hitboxes are weird. Link would probably also use the argument of we've been going non-stop for a week, technically. More than a week. Like, 9 days. They need a break. So they gotta, like, take this as a break, and so Link would spend some time to have fun and to play. And so that's how he gets in good with the bombers as a human. And since the bombers, their whole deal is actually not just having fun, but also like helping people, this works out really well because they're like, oh yeah, no, we can totally help you to like get to know. We know this town like the back of our hands. And so they help Link to get fully adjusted with Clock Town and everything that is involved. And they also can tell Link a little bit more about the carnival just as a whole, because they never... Link and Tattle never got an actual explanation of like what the carnival is. It's just, here's the carnival. You don't open till... Oh, never mind. It'll be open right now. I am mostly just doing this to grab entries. Because it's convenient. But even now, as I'm grabbing them, I'm worried about... what is the best way to... again, to put all of these together. I guess, what arcs do we need to keep track of? we have the Gorman Troop and all of the disparate characters that are a part of it. We have Anju and Cafe and everyone that's connected to that. So... hang on. Where is... I need to be careful there because I actually think I want to be... There's a thread there that we can grab onto with that. That is the intersection between the Gorman Troop and the Anjun Cafe story, which is when Gorman meets with... There you are. When Gorman meets with Madame Dautour. So perhaps... instead of starting the day with the bombers like we did, what we would actually start with is the... I don't know if we actually need to go in here. Just in case. What to say? Oh yeah, no, we're missing a whole lot. We're missing a whole lot, and that's fine. So Link would probably then start the day with City Hall. Try and get that threat or that connection going, as it were, since now you can actually talk to them. The question is, what is Link's purpose in going? Because if he is going to City Hall, you would think it would be more adventurer related. So perhaps he is trying to maybe meet with the mayor, see if there's anything he can do to gain assistance, like to provide assistance, because he is trying to gain rapport, as it were, to get support. Maybe there's something that he can do, and maybe there's something they can do to help him. Always good to have connections. He understands the importance of that kind of stuff. Link does. Unfortunately, he's unable to meet with them. Because it's a closed room meeting. This is only for the council, the mayor, and the guard. In fact, you can hear them arguing from the other room. And so, that is not a meeting you can just kind of walk in on in order to be like, "Hello, everybody! I am a strange child from far-off lands. I have come to provide support." Oh yeah, do you think you, child, can deal with that? Well, I mean, probably not, but at least not right now, but maybe in a... Oh wait, time travel. That's a bit of a mess. So, without that as an option, then Link is kind of wondering, well, maybe I could wait until the meeting is over, or something along those lines. And that's when... From 7 other Zelda games. I don't think that's gonna work. Plus, this Link's only had 1 other Zelda game. That's when Link hears Gorman saying, "Cancelled?" Because there's a problem. Meaning? The opening performance I've asked you to do. Ah, yes. They've cancelled just now. What's this? Allow me to explain. Oh, excuse me. I am to work at this year's show. Or that was the plan. I'm Toto, manager of the Zora band, the Indogogos. We arrived this morning. Actually, there's been an unusual accident in Great Bay. And due to this unusual accident, Lulu, the diva in the Indogogos, has lost her voice. Why? Why? The details are quite long, so I'll spare you. At any rate, I must cancel our performance at this year's carnival. See? This means the Gorman's troop's job is... It's off. But that's all, Gorman. There's always next year. I'm busy with other matters. So Link is listening in on this conversation, this intersection between these two plot lines, as well as hearing about this plot line in regards to the Great Bay. So that gives us our seed for, of the two, which one should Link go to next? Well, I've already heard about something's going on in Great Bay. That's the direction I should go. This is a conversation, obviously, that Gorman tries to figure out. I wish it was only your face that was annoying me right now. Ouch! That is... dang! Just... dang! That is... ow! Gorman would try to argue his case. Unfortunately, I do have other matters to attend to. If you haven't noticed, someone is waiting to see me. If you will excuse me, please. She's looking at us, at Link. And Link is mildly perplexed. Just a moment, dear. She would, again, dismiss Gorman a lot more directly this time. Which, obviously, Gorman is not enthused about. And so as he is trying to be polite and accommodating or whatever to Madame Detour, obviously, as soon as she can't see his face anymore, it crumples into his usual look of rage and so on and so forth. And so as he leaves, Link is then called in by Madame Detour. Are you the expert person finder I hired? Expert person, so a detective. She was looking for a private eye, and the characteristics of the person I want you to find. Yes, I know them. The person I want you to locate is my son, Cafe. You know him, don't you? You don't? Really? He disappeared about a month ago. It's terrible. so very worried. I can't get food down my throat. I've lost 5 pounds. Tattle behind, like, her hand is like, you could stand to lose a few more than that. Like, it's like, Tattle! The only question is, where is this supposed detective that Madame Detour hired? I am going to say, and this is... I don't know how I'm going to be able to weave this in, but the only person who I could possibly think could be the private eye in question, the expert person finder that she hired, is our lone guard, the one who gives us the stone mask, all the way out in the canyon. Because he's not connected to anything at all. And so, I feel like this could give him some kind of role in the story beyond just, here, have a mask. So, we'll need to put a pin in it, because that is... pretty much. I should make a clip of that. I'll do that. Someone... I don't know. Doesn't matter. Whole different discussion. Anywho. So, put a pin in that. And we'll leave that for when we go to the canyon. But... or maybe when we're doing the cafe story. Regardless... he's gone. He's missing. And obviously she's never met this private eye, but the gods are all too busy dealing with the problems facing our town, and so I can't ask Vyson to deal with this problem, but I had to do something. You come highly recommended, so... oh dear. Well, could you look for him? The stone mask guard make a wrong... he made a wrong... no, I think what's going to happen is he probably got jumped by Sakan. Again, keeping that in the back of our brain. We'll stick a pin in that for when we get back to this in a week or two. And the... how do I want to say this? Since Link doesn't know Cafe, don't worry, I have just the thing. Because it is a little strange that she would have a mask that looks like her son. That's a little creepy, if you ask me. The mask itself is kind of creepy, if we're being perfectly honest. But... regardless... by the way, this is the part where we're leaving, and you can still hear the yelling coming from the meeting, and that's when you hear Muto yell at Vyson, "Your mother's a celestial body!" So excited. That's still the best line we've come up with so far. Anywho. He wants to bring time back up to a normal speed. In fact... I think we will. So, with this task in hand, Link and Tattle are trying to figure out, well, who could we talk to about this? Maybe this point is when Link spent some time with the bombers, because They definitely seem like they know a whole lot more about what's going on than anything else. And they recommend, afterwards, Link is really hungry. They don't have a whole lot of food. So they recommend to Link that he go to the Stockpot Inn. Because they have some good food. And there's no restaurant or anything, so there's really nothing else that you can do about it. And so Link and Tattle figure, hey, well, let's go there, and we'll try and brainstorm some stuff. What we could do to maybe track down this cafe. Wait for Anju to get back. Because when we get in, when Link and Tattle come into it, instead of us having to walk up to Anju and saying hello, instead what happens is that we open it and Anju says, "Oh, welcome to the Stockpot Inn. Do you have a reservation?" We were hoping that maybe we could, yes, perfect. Could you please, what's your name? So instead of just, did I ask you the same thing earlier? My mother's always, oh my gosh. Oh, are you telling me that I can't? Oh no, wait. So here's this. I don't necessarily want this to be part of our story just yet. I'm primarily doing this just for the footage in case I forget about it later. In the post box somewhere. Oh, maybe it's after. Yeah, so he walks. So instead of, basically, Anju is expecting someone. She's already flustered because of the letter. And oh, are you kidding me? So I blew it already because I talked to her already. Darn it! I messed that up. That's unfortunate. Huh! The twists and turns this game makes. Okay, so in order for us to continue the story the way that I'm thinking about it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly... Oh, that's right. I've already set up the chain for the target games. I'm looking at the time. So my idea is for the... Basically, we're like brushing up against Cafe without actually getting into Cafe, and instead we get diverted into addressing a lot of the Gorman Troop stuff. Or at the very least, the performers of the Gorman Troop stuff. In fact, I can think of a couple of really good ways to kind of work with that. Okay, I think... Yeah, let me deposit this, and then... We'll go back in time, and we'll reset, basically. The story that we have up to this point remains consistent. But... That's cool. It's fascinating to see how these exchanges create a different experience for your loop. The primary one that I know of is if you save the old lady from being robbed by Sakan, Sakan no longer has a reason to come to the curiosity shop the night of day 2, which means Cafe doesn't have a reason to go chasing after Sakan because he didn't see him. And so you can flub the whole Cafe quest if you rush from talking to Anju to saving the old lady. The idea is that you can only do one or the other, but if you slow down time and you're fast enough, you can technically do both and ruin your run. Or that plot line, as it were. But if you're running a normal time, I'm pretty sure it's impossible or close to it. So, we need to burn some time till the afternoon, so we have to do the bomb shoe bowling again. So we will. Wow, first one. I already messed it up. That's a problem. That was close. Oh, nice. Two more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! There we go. Oh, come on. Come on! There we go. Oh, that was close, though. Ooh, that one almost missed. Okay. I think the other two are easier. You're throwing bombs and baskets and shooting stuff. Goodness knows, I should be pretty decent at shooting stuff after everything we've gone through. I'm only semi-decent at shooting stuff after everything I've gone through. Okay. I'm not gonna need arrows. I don't think I need to worry about this as far as a piece of heart is concerned. But I got time to kill, so let's try and get it. Wow! That was easy! Dang, I have never had such a fast run through that. I'm glad I came here! Real nice! I did have fun. Real nice. I'll take it. Okay, so I don't have to worry about anything now until the afternoon. You know what? There is one thing. Because I do think that we can incorporate a certain paper meter into our story. We just need to grab some paper. And I don't have any arrows right now. That'll work. Here we are. Make sure we're prepped for the story ahead. Oh yeah, I could probably talk to that guy too. Because he sells you a piece of art. Thanks, Daisy. That's right. He's going down that hole right there. Yeah, I forget how much I need. I'll go to the bank and just take out like 200. Because that's as much as I can hold. Yeah. Smack your butt at me all you want, Skull Kid. I have other things to do. Quick jump. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm trying to decide the fastest way to do all of this. I don't know! This. There you go. Thank you. Okay. Paper is prepped. Just remember, there's a bunch of money in the ninth chamber, too, so that works out really well for us. Oh, I already have 112. Never mind. I don't have to get any money from the bank. I have plenty of money already. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we're back. We have reset. We have fixed my little snafu, and we can return to the story as we were originally planning. So, when we first enter, Anju is already at the desk, and she greets us the moment we come in. We are coming in, originally hearing from the bombers that there's some good food here. Anju not only mistakes us for the wrong person, she also thinks we're here for the wrong reason. And so, she immediately asks us for our name. So Link obviously answers, "My name is Link." Well, good. So, says it's Link. Oh, Link, okay, one moment. Yes, Mr. Link, I've been down for an afternoon ride. I was like, wait, you were expecting me? What? What's going on? Gives us a key? What in the world is going on? I don't understand. And so Link takes the key, he's looking at it strangely, and he starts walking up the stairs as at the side, Anju is getting her letter from Cafe. But Link is so confused and surprised by the key, he's not paying attention to it. So instead, they come in. Well, whatever, staring for free, we can't expect much. So instead, they spend some time, well, resting. And then they do also go and get some food, but it's, man, we have some time to rest. And it's as they are resting that they discover, or learn, I should say, that the Gorman troop is staying at the inn. There he is. ₹150. Either way. Oh, isn't it if, like, you say no, then he lowers the price to 100? Not that I care. I always have more than enough rupees. It's just I think I remember hearing about that. Oh well. Yeah, so that was just to make sure that is out of the way. And the discussions with both the Rosa sisters and with Guru Guru could probably begin to take place, like, right now. At the very least, I would say that Link begins to develop a rapport with the performers in the Gorman troupe. Gorman is, like, rarely here. He's rarely with them, and they're all, for the most part, just kind of doing their own thing. It doesn't help that their intended performances and whatnot seems to be canceled. Word is already spreading around that the carnival itself is at risk of being just completely ignored. Now, this is a conversation that I think Link would not be listening to. But because I feel like Link is a good enough person that if he realized that he took somebody else's reservation by accident, he would give him the reservation. That just seems like something Link would do, because Link's a good person like that. So, that conversation, that exchange only happens in the background where Link is not within earshot. Instead, he is focusing his time talking with the performers in the Gorman troupe. And so they begin talking into the night, as it were, and just having a good time, talking and making friends and beginning to learn a little bit about their own troubles. How the Rosa sisters are having issues with their dancing. Guru Guru is the one that Link talks to first. There is he has an easier time kind of striking up a conversation because there is the owner of or the operator, I should say, of the windmill back in Kakariko. Again, they don't look the same, but there is a obvious similarity between them, and so there is a discussion of they gain a rapport, and Guru begins to eventually kind of share his frustrations with his life and his attempts before in other performing troops. I don't know if I want to have this exact story, but at the very least, it is obvious that Guru has a checkered past. And so Link would need to help him come to terms with that, I would say. And while, again, it feels weird being given stolen goods, but having the how do I just so instead I mean it is an expression of thanks, but it is also it's not thievery. I just don't want it to be thievery because that just does not sit well with me. You get what I'm saying? No, I don't think our buddy here comes out for a little while yet. That's who I need the paper for. So instead of having it be random hand just coming out of the toilet for no apparent reason whatsoever, instead, I think it is going to be a bathroom emergency. But it's going to be a bathroom emergency from one of our jugglers. One of these two. If you have it be one of them, then that brings those two into just this whole circle of performers that Link is able to assist in some form or another. This is obviously more of a joke exchange and less of a serious one, like we get with Guru and then with the Rosa sisters with Kamano. Kamano? I think it's Kamano. We'll get to it when we get over there. But I feel like the conversation with Guru would still happen here in the Stockpot Inn. And obviously, our bathroom emergency would also happen in the Stockpot Inn. From there, the Rosa sisters have already gone out. They are frustrated. They are confused, and they still haven't figured out their dance, which is just a massive pain. We should be able to time this out. So what I'm thinking we have going on is we have Guru, we have our bath emergency. Then Link notices that the Rosa sisters are missing, as it were. Like, where did they go? Well, this is when they go and try and take time to practice. I always forget when you start up. I have to be careful with that because, again, everything is on a tight schedule here, and I gotta make sure we get to everybody. I need to make sure we get over to North Clocktown by, what is it, midnight? Because while Link initially goes out to try and find the Rosa Sisters, because he wants to help, they developed a decent enough rapport with them while they were here, but they're obviously also very preoccupied with everything. Maybe even not a good rapport, if I'm being honest. Okay. I will try again at 11:30, and if... So I always forget when this happens. Dang it! You ruined my perfect timing! Because as he goes out to try and find the Rosa Sisters, he is distracted by the arrival, or at the very least, he notices a familiar, shadowy figure. And so... I completely missed where she came in. There we go. So he gives chase immediately, because he's like, oh, I am totally taking care of this now. This is totally going to happen. And this time he's ready. He has his sword. He is able to disarm or relieve Sakan of his attempted thievery. He does try and give chase to try and catch Sakan, but unburdened as he is, Sakan is still able to get away. Link is still a little frustrated, but the old lady is very happy, very thankful, and that makes Link feel oh so much better about everything. And that is... And that it's just big burden off of Link's chest. Up. Link would start by locating the Rosa Sisters.
Oh.
I wanted to make sure that I get to Kamino before we, because of time and whatnot. But basically, what would happen is he finds the Rosa Sisters. He sees that they're practicing. They're working really, really hard, but nothing is clicking just right. And Link is kind of wishing that he maybe knew a little dance choreography, but he obviously doesn't. But then, for some reason, the music that he hears sounds a little... Something is, like, bugging him. It's that whole sixth sense that the Eye of Truth thing has kind of done that. So he asks the Rosa Sisters during one of their breaks, where did the music come from? Well, it's actually a recent thing. We've been hearing it recently. We think it sounds really, really good. We just can't seem to develop the right steps to go with this music. Where did you hear it? Well, actually, it was near here not too long ago. And so Link thinks maybe he can find the source of the music, find the person like playing it, and can ask for the inspiration. And it's through that he comes across Kamino here, and Kamaro, excuse me. Kamaro. And when he learns of Kamaro's story, recognizing that he is a ghost, because again, Sixth Sense, Eye of Truth, all that fun deal, he talks with him about all the stuff in regards to, oh my gosh, I dedicated my life to the art of movement and to dance, and did not have anyone with the passion to carry on my legacy. Translation. That creates the... I don't know, do we want to call this psychic transference, the power of the mask, or whatever? At the very least, having the story and at least some of the basic moves. Link is not a super trained dancer or anything like that, so he can't match up to what Kamado or what the Rosa sisters can do, but he can at the very least tell them of Kamado's story and provide some of the basic steps that then sparks the Rosa sisters' creativity, allowing them to compose the dance that they feel like actually fits, which does turn out to look very, very similar to what Kamaro was hoping for. Link can even help with, like, this is what he was doing. I don't know how much he wants to talk about specifics, just because I can see dead people. Maybe not the best thing to tell a bunch of people. Also, this image still looks really weird for so many reasons. Yay! Can I? No. I forget when exactly I can do it. I could always look in my bomber's notebook. Just a thought that crossed my mind. All right, let's see if we can at least get our thing. Even though the timing didn't work out properly, we can still... There you are. Bugcatcher, hello. No, just for the audience here. Since I spend so much time with Zelda, talking about Zelda, Zelda Universe, the Zelda Universe podcast, and all this, I figured I would just take the opportunity to expand the story of the games that I am playing. What would these games look like as a fully fleshed out, maybe not fully fleshed out because I'm not like composing dialogue or anything, but if you took a narrative focus to Majora's Mask, what could that possibly look like? Kind of like how people have made manga for Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, stuff like that. This is just kind of a fun way for me to approach the adventure. I think it's kind of fun. See, this is the challenge of having these interconnected things, and yet even the interconnected stuff you can get back through really, really fast. Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. With all of the members of the Gorman Troop kind of become our friends, or we've helped them in some form or another, the only person that's left is Gorman himself. And Gorman is obviously a very tough nut to crack. Now, because I'm a shameless completionist... we'll proceed to make baskets explode. So is no one going to question why they just have these competitions with mass live explosives? And just letting an 11-year-old play this game? But another reason why this is not part of our actual storytelling. Anywho. So yes, Gorman is a tough nut to crack. It has been impossible to actually get a positive reaction, despite the fact that at this point, the whole troop has massive respect for Link and is... I mean, he's young enough that they might even be like, we are adopting this child. No, we know you're a fully fledged adventurer and you're gonna go, you have to do your own thing, but we've also adopted you. You are now an honorary member of the Gorman Troop. And Gorman is just like having none of it. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He's off in his... Honestly, it's like this with the entire troop. He's just not been talking to any of them because he's just so enraged about losing this big chance, this big gig. And so, at some point, Link would need to ask the question of, where does he keep going? Well, he keeps going over to the milk bar. Now, should this be the milk bar? We've made the joke. The franchise has made the joke forever. Ah, it's a bar. Gorman gets drunk. Obviously, the milk does things to highlights. That Chateau Romani, that's some alcoholic stuff. Milk. So, would it be actually a milk bar, or is it just a bar? And the milk part is just here in the game because obvious. We want to keep our E rating. Regardless, it is a members-only establishment, or at the very least, it is for adults only. And so, Link does not have that recognition. He's not going to be allowed in. At the very end, regardless, Gorman is trying to use it in order to be alone. So, at the outset, it does not seem like there is much that Link can do in order to garner his respect. However, the thing about milk does catch his attention. And I think this is actually going to work out really, really well. So, we did everything in the course of a single day and night, but for the purposes of storytelling and timing, we could have... Just don't have to worry about falling this time. Of course it hurts. You're in the way. You're the one who decided to make this thing rotate. Easiest one to do. Because there's no risk of falling off. Thank you. Yeah, I don't need them to question their happiness. Anywho. Only one love dove hit. It's alright, it's fine. They're fine. Anyways, the question of milk and why the milk bar is so... Ooh, even better. Leek may even get word that they're running low on milk. Ah, maybe if I can go get milk, I can make the delivery, and then... They'll be like, oh, thank you so much. This works really great. You can be part of the thing. And then Gorman will be happy because he's got more of his stuff. See, it's all coming together. Can I get some? Thank you. This because map purchasing. Here we are. And as Link approaches, this is his plan. He's got this. He's gonna get in good. The first thing he notices is this worker. This worker, this giant pickaxe, and a massive pile of rubble. What's going on? I've been here for the last 2 days. Actually, no, it's probably even more than 2 days. Last several days. Like a week. This massive boulder was just sitting here in the middle of the road. Milk couldn't get through, so... all by himself. So Link is like, holy... That's why the milk is delayed. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe they need help. So... Oh, I hate that. Leek comes in, and it's a big, wide expanse. And... man, I wonder who is going to notice it first, Link or Tattle. Because someone has to notice that there are no cows. What's going on? What happened? So, a couple of things. First off, yes, there's Epona. And I think the question, of course, is how in the heck did Epona get here? I thought... And Link would look at Tattle. I didn't say he killed him! So just surprise. But then the question still of, how did you get here? Epona can't answer. And so Link would run over to the only person who's here. How did I say him? My apologies. I know better. There's a lot of confusion, because first it's, who are you? But then there is, stand back. Because Cremia would have... Cremia is protecting her sister. I'm sorry, we can't. There's nothing. There's nothing here. And Link is... Oh yeah, I put the meme for that on the on my Discord. So both of them, Cremia is confused and frustrated and sad, and obviously Romani is out of her mind. And the question of what's going on? Why? Something has happened. Link would question Cremia as to what went wrong, what is happening. Well, it happened 2 days ago. And then she would give him just the basic information. Cremia was telling me about these ghosts that are supposed to come right before the carnival. I didn't believe her, but then she was gone. The cows were gone. Now she's back. Thank goodness she's back, but something's wrong with her. And Cremia is distraught. This is probably a point where she would break down and cry. Just because everything is gone. Her father's legacy. Her sister is just not herself. And to top it all off, that. And at this point, there is nothing Link can do, but there is something that he can do. 2 days ago. And so, with that determination, Link resolves to solve the issue at Romani Ranch. And that is where we are going to leave things for tonight. Everyone, thank you all so much for being here. I hope that you had a fun time with this adventure. However you have been here, however you have been participating, I am so glad that you decided to spend some time with me. If you've been watching over on YouTube, I hope you're enjoying the story. If you want to catch these adventures live, I am almost always playing Zelda on Mondays over on Twitch. Contras, just like the YouTube channel, usually streaming in the evening, 6 o'clock Pacific time is when I tend to start. I hope that you would come by sometime. It would be absolutely wonderful to see you somewhere out there in the multiverse.